So here we see the Vorcha melee build. In this case, I'm using Soldier, um, and it is somewhat different, as I said in the original part, in the previous part one of the guide to the Flamer regen build. It is a melee. I look this map. I gotta say, this map I find very difficult. I did some runs with some pretty decent players last night, and we didn't have a terribly high ratio of success. I think I still need a lot of getting used to it, hence a lot of mistakes, a lot of dying. But I think I demonstrated my point, or basically, how you play, how I would play the melee-oriented Vorcha, in this case the soldier. Uh, as I said in the guide, it's all in the first part. It's all there. It's entirely melee, so I don't need to talk about the build. It's just as I described it. And what I do here really is I tried my best to use Brawl as a stagger and then follow up with melee attacks. Um, so Brawl a stagger, but I also do a lot of, it's probably about 50-50. I do a lot of killing with my weapon. That said, like I said, the kill an enemy with a heavy melee, you have a 30% weapon damage bonus, which is pretty significant. I use Carnage as crowd control, one for variation, but I also use Carnage, as you see, many times against Guardians, because it pops their shields and I can kill them that way. I was able to get one or two mail slot shots in there, but that's really rare, especially at range when you don't have an accuracy mod. Even with it, it's quite difficult, so Carnage is quite good. It's good crowd control, I think. Um, yeah, very good in that sense. Anything else? Well, as I said, if you're going to spec for melee, then you make sure your loadout is melee oriented. If you're using a shotgun, then in this case, I would be prescriptive and say only use a pistol or shotgun. Why? Because they're the only two weapons that offer enhanced melee damage options, namely, with regards to the pistol, the melee stunner, 25%, and for shotguns, the blade attachment, which you see I'm using for 25% as well. Then you have some nice consumables like the melee, I think it's a strength enhancer, which I'm using. And if you're fortunate enough to get a permanent consumable that enhances, a gear that enhances melee, it's quite good as well. And then you'll have as much melee as possible. But you do notice, though, that the Vorcha melee is not powerful. It's very fast, it can be chained, but it's not powerful in the sense that a Krogan one is, or even a Batarian. It can miss. That's why I like staggering first. But I think I was at a disadvantage on this map. I did want to display a new map. The new maps, just people probably would complain otherwise. But it was definitely pretty fun way of playing Vorcha. The melee, like I said, is kind of utilitarian. I, I think it would be better if it did more damage, even with the stacks, but unfortunately it doesn't. So I think for my purposes, for my gameplay style, I prefer to use weapons to kill things. That's just me. But it definitely is a very nice way of playing. It's fun. Yeah, as you see, what basically involves staggering with the growl, and melee. Sometimes you can just melee straight ahead. Some pretty good instances of agility. You also see, particularly this map, Goddess, it's that wide open space down there. Very dangerous area. So I got mowed down by a turret. That's, like I said, one thing that regeneration will not help you with. Turrets will kill you instantly. Then I got pinned down in that room. So Vorcha are not invulnerable. If anyone makes that claim, it's simply not true. You do need to be careful. And remember, this class just came out the other day. And I'm basically still a beginner with Vorcha, but the Vorcha have been a really important issue to me for a while, which is why I decided to make these this guide here. So I think with time, my gameplay will improve. I'll learn better techniques, but the basics are here. I don't know how long I'll keep this melee build. Like I said, well, I probably in the near future, I'll probably, like I said, have basically a weapon-oriented flamer, Vorcha, one for Reapers, and then one for Cerberus. And the only difference there would be probably the uh, the choice in rank 6 of flamer. In which case, for Cerberus and Geth, on the very rare occasions I play Geth, it would be the shield barrier, 50% extra damage, and the Reaper one. So, and for Reapers, it would be the armor one. Um, because ultimately I prefer more survivability. I prefer more health regeneration to just more melee damage. In part because the melee damage isn't that impressive to begin with. It's a very cool thing, and I think you could still use it as to stagger. Um, but it's probably, like I said, not as much my cup of tea as others. But I do like Carnage too, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just watch the video. See, these are basically what the techniques and the things I've been talking about, or talked about in the first part of the first guide. And yeah, and then I'm gonna move on to the last part, which is when I take on the Reapers. And I'll see you in a bit. Thanks for watching. So here we have in the final part of the guide, because I know people complain I only do Cerberus, me taking on the Reapers. Back to a familiar place, however, Giant, which remains one of my favorite maps, and just like it a lot. And I decided just to respec my Sentinel there, so it's not what I showed in the original part there, just slightly different. So I actually took the assault rifle shotgun weight reduction, and instead I spec'd Flamer for armor damage. I thought I'd show off display the Harrier. I mean, the Harrier to me is it's okay. I don't know what the big fuss is. Certainly, it doesn't deserve to be an ultra rare. That's clear. But it just doesn't. I mean, there's nothing so remarkable about it where you think, wow. In fact, if I had to choose between, truly choose between, say, a shotgun and an assault rifle. Well, the shotgun in this case, I think I'd probably choose a saber. I like the saber a lot. That said, my three favorite shotguns are the Claymore, the Brawl, and the Wraith, all for different reasons. The Claymore here I use a lot against Reapers because one of the major reasons I like the Brawl against Cerberus is a very simple reason that uh, you ha it's Phantoms basically. Phantoms can march towards you unhindered. Whatever you do, shooting at them, they'll just mow you down. They'll just cut you down. The Brawl stops that. You don't have that issue with Reapers, and so you're free to just take advantage of the massively damaging boomstick Claymore. You see I use it much more frequently than the Harrier. The Harrier is, I don't know why I took it, just to show what it does. It's nothing special. And I have it at level 10, so it's really nothing special. I imagine it probably could be pretty good and maybe a Turian something soldier or Geth, but you'd run out of ammo pretty quickly as well. I mean, 120 shots. BioWare is severely lacking in game balance. I mean, this is going to go off a tangent, but it's the last part of the video. Let's look at the three new weapons. The one of them is mediocre at best. That is the Harrier I'm using now. Then you have the this explosive sniper rifle, the Turian one. I don't recall the name exactly of it at the moment, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just point and shoot at the ground. The only thing it lacks is cover penetration. You shoot at the feet and they blow up anyway. Then you have what I consider the most overpowered, totally broken gun in the game. It's Carl Reader Carbine, which is an unshot gun, much like the DPS. I mean, this thing is so overpowered and so lacking in skill application that it makes the GPS look like a weapon that can only be mastered by a highly skilled player. It's literally, you don't need to aim. You just point and shoot and things just die. They literally die in a second. I was just messing around with a Drell Vanguard, and amazing anything just died quickly. With a Drell Vanguard on gold, I killed an Atlas in what appeared to be a little less than two applications, or basically a little more than two applications of this weapon. So it's, my concern, and I think others have voiced this on the forums, is that when you there are a lot of good weapons that you can't really call unbalanced. I mean, look at the Claymore. People, absurdly enough, made the comparison recently between the Claymore and the Claymore. Well, the Claymore is overpowered. No, it's not. You need very good aim. If you miss, it can be deadly. You can die because of that. It's very heavy. You really need to make extensive use of reload canceling. So it is a balanced weapon. It has no stagger effect. Then I have the Wraith. The Wraith is all-purpose. It does very good damage. It's not a Claymore crest, but it has two shots. It's very lightweight. It has better accuracy than the Claymore. And then the Brawl. Brawl, you need to learn how to lead because there is a fire delay because of the spikes. It doesn't do cover penetration, so it doesn't benefit from accuracy mods, but it is very powerful at a stagger effect. But these are all very good, powerful weapons. Weapons in the hands of a good player can do some serious damage, but at the same time, they're not just totally OP. This Carl Reader thing, put it in a freaking Vanguard's hand, hands of Infiltrator, even in a Vorcha. I mean, I haven't looked at it, I'm not going to. Apparently some bug where you can fire it and fire the flamethrower at the same time. I mean, I don't see the point. It ruins the fun. I mean, any challenge that might be there will be gone. And my prediction, unfortunately, is unless they do something about it, or I don't know what they're going to do about it, people are just going to be running around with the Carl Rieger and this sniper rifle the whole time, and and that's the only thing they're gonna be using. They'll probably kick you if you're not using some of those weapons. So I don't know. It's totally I went off on a tangent there, but it's pretty disturbing, these weapons. That said, getting back to the matter at hand. So the Claymore is very good against Reapers. It would be my preferred weapon against them, of the shotguns at least. And what else? Yeah, so you see how quickly with the armor spec, the Flamer takes down brutes and even banshees. And I kind of prolonged that last snippet in Wave 5 because I wanted to show you how resilient the Vorcha is. Now, banshees have space magic, as Lord Zeke calls it, that drains your barrier slash shield and your health. Many Krogans are somewhat less susceptible because they, well, have a lot more. Basic characters just kind of melt and die. You see how difficult. I mean, it happened to me like once or twice because I got directly hit by two of them, but it's very difficult with space magic to kill Vorcha. But I think the Vorcha is probably even better against Reapers than it is against other factions because of that. Especially the regeneration. I saw in a couple instances. Normally, uh, Marauder shots with their faced in, with marksman to 200% increase rate of fire, and even cannibals can mow you down pretty quickly. But you see regeneration, particularly with the stack kicking in there, it's very handy. You can survive a barrage and get into cover, which is important. If you're living or dying, I think it's quite good. So yeah, that's basically what I was doing here. Reapers for some variety. And I mean, basically everything I've discussed in the previous couple of videos, and particularly in the beginning when I actually talk about the build. This is just me applying what I'm talking about. But I do expect in the coming weeks, hopefully, if I'm still draw breath, as it were, to do some other videos, not guides. This will probably be the last guide I might add to it, maybe, depending on what happens. But I do have my group, Vorcha Special Operations, and I think we're going to have to be able to make some nice videos for Vorcha Special Operations, different setups. There was even a suggestion of a Blood Pack video, which I've been considering, which would involve maybe a Krogan Vanguard and maybe 3 Vorcha or something to that effect. So you have a Blood Pack leader and the pack itself. So we'll see, but I think the Vorcha are going to provide a lot of interesting opportunities in the nearest future. So thanks for watching. I hope people can benefit from this guide, and I hope they enjoy the Vorcha as much as I do. And I'll see you on the forums.